Hi, I'm Jessica Mullins, and I am a teacher at Flat Gap Elementary, and we are an ACT school. This is actually our third year being a part of the ACT program. This year, our problem of practice focused on implementing engagement strategies that increase student motivation and student attendance. These strategies will foster student engagement during classroom instruction, which will result in higher student achievement and attendance. Some of the data sources that we looked at was the yearly attendance. This was something that really caught our attention. The past 2 years, we've been really focused on designing those formative assessments, doing the instruction, and then those students that did not meet those targets, they actually attended something called Greyhound Grit Time. And it is an intervention program for those students that did not get that daily target. But we realized it's very hard for the kids to learn when they're not at school. We also looked at the correlation of attendance with exact path scores, our K-Prep data, and then our principal also did observations and walkthroughs with a focus on student participation and student engagement. So the short-term goals that we decided to do this year, one was to increase attendance by 5%, decrease the number of students requiring RTI services by 10%, and to increase student engagement in the classroom. Some of our long-term goals are for students to become engaged and motivated learners who persevere in the classroom, increase our overall yearly attendance of teachers and students, an increase in exact path scores in the areas of reading and math for our students in kindergarten through second grade, and then an increase in K-Prep scores for our students in grades 3rd through 6th. Some key strategies that you'll see in our theory of action is really our teachers. Our teachers developed daily learning targets and formative assessments to see if those kids are getting those targets. We had weekly PLCs focused on accomplished teaching and learning for effective student engagement. There was a use of data notebooks and ongoing student data collection and analysis, again with the focus on that student engagement. Student surveys to see how we can better reach our students, and developing a toolbox of engagement strategies in all content areas that will be available for all of our teachers. Our principal also completed walkthroughs and observation forms, facilitated PLCs to show teacher strengths. There was an open line of communication and support for our teachers and immediate feedback. Our district also provided some PD to support student engagement, such as Kagan strategies. So this year, we really wanted to focus on getting these kids to school and just igniting their passion for learning. We wanted to try to engage them and get them to participate.
This is our budget, and as you can see, we used our money to buy marker board tables. We bought 30 tables. Each classroom K through 2 got 6 tables each. Then we also used our money for dry erase markers and erasers for the students to use on the tables. Here are some pictures of our students actually utilizing the tables that we purchased. In some of the pictures, you see a second grade classroom. I know that they use theirs a lot for working math problems and for some word work. The middle picture is actually my K1 split classroom, and we use ours a lot for auditory spelling test, a lot of times for word work. The tables were great for student engagement because it took away the need for paper and pencil all the time. So instead, it was just pull out your marker, get your eraser, and let me see your work. Here in these pictures are the second graders using their tables. And you can see they've used them all the way for word work and grammar to telling time and addition for math. They were a great asset in every subject. The results of our ACT project were actually to help increase attendance, but more so to increase student engagement and engagement activities used in the classroom. I know as a teacher, This helped me think outside the box a little bit. What can I get them doing that's not just paper and pencil, that's not just a reading group? How can I get them to think outside the box and engage more in what we're doing in the classroom? This also definitely helped increase student participation because you didn't have to worry about students being shy about their answers. They could just write it on the table. They didn't have to say anything. So it eliminated that whole shy group of kids that don't want to participate in the classroom. This also helped to improve our teacher bank of engagement strategies. So, as teachers and PLCs, we got together and we discussed what we did in our classroom and how we implemented the tables in order to help our instruction. Our next steps would be to continue using and working with the engagement strategies that we've already come up with and that we know work well with the tables, and just not so much just the tables, but just student engagement overall. The development of a toolbox of engagement strategies. That way, if a teacher is struggling or someone in the building is looking for an engagement strategy to use, they can just pull one out of the toolbox and that's there and ready for their use. Continued professional development, because that's really the time we get to share what we're doing and how well it works, or if it isn't working well, and build each other up on that. And teacher spotlight during PLCs and sharing what works well for us. This just shows our theory of action that we used for this project.